What's up, people? Welcome back to Daily Red Devil for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. I hope everyone is doing well on this Thursday evening. I am feeling so positive today. I really am. We've had so much news come out in the last couple of hours, specifically around the outgoings at Manchester United, which we will, of course, be jumping in on this video. But before we do that, please do smash a like on the video and please do subscribe to the channel if you are new. I've been sat in the sun all day and my head is gone a little bit. Yeah, so I do apologise for that little blip. But anyway, let's move on with the show. So we've got so much to get into. We're going to be talking a bit more about the AMRABAT deal. We're of course going to be talking about Fred and Pavard and what's going on with them. We've got some updates on Benjamin Pavard. We've got some news on a striker. We've got some news on Harry Kane. So much to get into. So please do smash a like, please do subscribe, and do get involved in the comment section because I do like to make this show as interactive as possible. Right. But before we start the show, I just want to say a massive happy birthday to none other than Mr. Roy Keane. Roy Keane celebrates his 52nd birthday today, guys. So please do smash a happy birthday in the chat. Roy Keane, absolute legend of the club. 52nd birthday today. So happy birthday to Roy Keane. Yeah, top lad. Love Roy Keane. Anyway, let's move on with the show. Let's start off with Sofyan Amrabat. Let's start off with some positivity. So there's a story coming out in the last half an hour saying that the sale of Fred will mean the signing of Amrabat's personal terms are not an issue as he wants to move to Manchester United. So that's coming out from a journalist in Italy. Obviously, we will talk about Fred in a moment, but that's really positive. And Fabrizio has confirmed all but the same plan. He says Manchester United's plan remains clear. Sell Fred with Fenerbahce and sign new midfielder. Sofyan Amrabat is waiting for Manchester United. So really happy about that one. Really happy that Amrabat will be coming to Manchester United. We had all of that worry around Atletico Madrid. We had worry about Juventus, but it looks like he's waiting. And it looks like he will become a Manchester United player. Keeping on the topic of Amrabat, let's now move over to Fred because as we all know, Fred was the vital part of this domino and the domino has now fallen. Fred has, Manchester United have reportedly accepted a 15 million euros bid from Fenerbahce in Turkey for Fred. It's around £13 million, including add-ons. And apparently Fred has now agreed to sign with Fenerbahce. Fabrizio Romano has said in the last 10 minutes that Fred to Fenerbahce is expected to be done soon. So it looks like that one's going to happen. It looks like Fred will be leaving Manchester United. And as we know, that will then allow Sofyan Amrabat to take his place. So that's an amazing bit of business there. I know loads of you were getting so worried about this. Every time we did a show, you said, oh, is Amrabat going to Atletico? What's going on, Kieran? I'm so worried. But we're finally getting there. We're finally at that point now where it looks like Amrabat will become a Manchester United player. And it looks like Fred is finally going to leave the club. So that's really good. Obviously, I wish him all the best. Fenerbahce is a really good club to go to. So hopefully Fred goes, has a really good career there. And ultimately, we're getting a better player. So happy days for everybody. There was a slight little twist in the tale, though, just to give you guys the full picture. Simon Stone from the BBC reported in the last hour or so that apparently Galatasaray have now re-entered the race. Obviously, they put in 3 bids, didn't they? 5, 8 and 10 million euros. But now that Fenerbahce seem to have got this deal over the line and have a deal in place, apparently Galatasaray have now re-entered the race. Now, maybe that means that they come in with a higher bid. I think he's just going to go to Fenerbahce at this point. That's what Fabrizio has said, that it will be Fenerbahce who get the deal done. But it is interesting that another club has now come in at the last minute. And Simon Stone says Fred has been told by Manchester United that he is not likely to play a significant role at the club this season. So ultimately, Fred realises that he's not going to play first team football. He's accepted that and he will move to Fenerbahce. 120 grand a week off the wages, around £6 million a year in wages gone, and about £13 million in the bank. You can't really complain about that. It's about 20 million total package if you include the wages and the transfer fee. 1 year left on his deal, 30 years of age. This is the moment to cash in on him. And I'm really happy we've done that. But do let me know in the comment section how you feel about this one. Are you happy about the fee we've received for Fred? Do you think we should have got a little bit more? I think if, in the grand scheme of things, at this moment in time, if selling Fred allows us to get Amrabat, I'm happy with it. But £13 million is a little bit low. I don't know. I'm not sure what to think. You know, this transfer has been dragging out for so long that at this point I don't really care anymore. I want to take the 13 million pounds and just go and get Amrabat. That's all I care about. As long as we get Amrabat and as long as he doesn't cost more than about 25 million pounds, I'm not going to be complaining about it. So yeah, I think it's good. But do let me know in the comment section whether you think it's a good bit of business. I do look forward to seeing you guys' opinions. We've got over 500 people watching already, which is absolutely massive. Big ups to everybody. Please do smash a like on the video and please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. We hit 10k subscribers today, so I just wanted to say, before we could crack on with the rest of the show, massive thank you to every single one of you who has supported this channel since we started. We've only been doing this for about 8 weeks, and honestly, I'm completely blown away by all of your support. So I really do appreciate you. Thank you so much. Obviously, this is a community for all of us, so this isn't just an achievement for myself. This is an achievement for all of us. So let's see how far we can take this channel. Next goal is 20k, so let's see how far we can get there. But from the bottom of my heart, big ups to every single one of you. Right, let's keep on with the Manchester United news, because that is what we're here for. We're not here for me to get soppy, but I do think it's important to, you know, to acknowledge you lot. So yeah, let's move on to the next bit of news though. So let's talk about Harry Kane. I know some of you are going to be screaming at your screen saying, Kieran, why the hell are we talking about this? I've had people telling me, you know, stop talking about Kane. I don't want to hear it, but you might like this or you might not. So obviously, Bayern Munich have agreed a €100 million deal with Tottenham for Harry Kane. It looked all set. All of today, all I've been hearing is Harry Kane's going to Tottenham, to Bayern. The deal's done, and all the rest of it. But there is now a twist in the tale. Sky Sports, multiple other journalists are apparently reporting that it does now look like Harry Kane will stay at Tottenham and he won't go to Bayern Munich. The reason for this isn't because the clubs couldn't agree a deal. The two clubs have agreed a price. The issue is Harry Kane. So this is coming out from Christian Falk, who is obviously a very good German journalist and is very good around Bayern Munich. He's the best journalist in the world for Bayern Munich stories. And he's reported in the last half an hour that Harry Kane's hesitation has completely... Harry Kane's hesitation completes the madness of this deal. There is said to be a disagreement between Harry Kane and Tottenham about the transfer. Bayern Munich are puzzled. Okay, that's the first bit. And then since then, in the last 30 minutes, he's reported that according to our information, there are rumours that a club have made Harry Kane a significantly better offer for a free transfer at the end of 2024 when his contract expires. He goes on to say that Chelsea and Manchester United cannot be ruled out. So, just to summarise everything we've just said, he's rejected Bayern Munich. He's not going to go. And Christian Falk, this journalist who is literally the best Bayern Munich journalist in the world, is saying that the reason for him not going is because another club, he's named Chelsea and Manchester United, he doesn't know which one it is, but apparently another club have offered him a contract for this time next year when he becomes a free agent. Absolutely madness. If we get Harry Kane for free, I'll be very happy with that. Let me just say that. So it looks like he's staying at Tottenham. We're not going to get him this season, which is fine. I don't want to spend £100 million on Harry Kane. But yeah, ultimately the black and white, the story is that an unknown club have come forward and offered Harry Kane a massive contract when his deal expires. Now, I want you to let me know in the comment section, would you sign Harry Kane for free next summer? Let me know in the comment section. For me, 100% yes. He's world class. He gets you 30 goals. Unless he has an absolutely terrible season this year, unless he gets really injured, unless he does his ACL or something really bad happens to him, for me, 100% we need to get Harry Kane for free next summer. And it looks like that's what Manchester United are doing. It looks like that's what the plan is. Obviously, Chelsea are also linked to him, but I think Chelsea will get another striker this window. They've obviously just got this Nicholas Jackson person, haven't they? And they've just got Nkunku. So yeah, I think it's written in the stars that he will become a Manchester United player. So yeah, the other bit of the story that's just come out, this is coming from Bild in Germany, Sport Bild. They are saying that an unnamed club have appeared at short notice and offered Harry Kane a significantly better contract offer than Bayern Munich for when he becomes a free agent next summer. So they've completely blown this deal out of the water. Whoever this is, and I'm going to say this now, I think it's Manchester United. I don't bet, I don't gamble, but I would put money on it being Manchester United. I think this absolutely stinks of a Manchester United type of signing. It stinks of a Glazer signing. And even if we get bought by Qatar, imagine if, say, Qatar come in January, right? And they announce in January that Harry Kane's going to sign for free in the summer. That would be absolutely unbelievable. It's a marquee signing. It would cost you no money. But I do want you to let me know in the comment section whether you would be happy with Harry Kane as a free signing. Let me know your reasons. I know he'll be 31 this time next year, but imagine him coming as a free agent, costing you no money. I know you'd have to give him probably 400, 500 grand a week, but for somebody who is, probably one of the best strikers in the Premier League, if not the best after Erling Haaland. I think it's a deal we have to get done. So I'm really, really happy about this one. I thought him going to Bayern Munich was a really bad move, to be honest. Like, obviously he would have won trophies, but I want to see him break Alan Shearer's goal scoring record. Yeah, I understand paying 100 million for him is stupid, and I was not willing to do that. But even if you paid him, say you paid him 500 grand a week, right? Which I know is absolutely ridiculous money, okay? Say you paid him 500 grand a week. That would be 26 million a year. Sign him on a 2-year deal. That means for 2 years of Harry Kane, you're paying 50 million pounds total with no transfer fee. Like, that is good business, I think. So hopefully this is Manchester United. Obviously, we don't know at this stage. We will have to wait and see what happens with this one. But yeah, if I was a betting man, I would say that it is Manchester United who are this secret club, because it would make complete sense. But anyway, let's move on to something else now. Let's talk about the next topic. So I wanted to bring this one in really, really quickly. I know this person isn't a Manchester United player anymore, but David De Gea. There's a story coming out this afternoon that apparently David De Gea is set to join Real Madrid following his departure from Manchester United. I'm so happy for him. Obviously, the fax machine broke, what was it, 7-8 years ago? He tried to get his move to Real Madrid. The fax machine broke and it didn't happen. But it looks like David De Gea is finally going to get his move to Real Madrid. Honestly, I'm absolutely buzzing for him. It is a little bit unfortunate circumstances. Thibaut Courtois has apparently done his ACL, which is of like, what's that, a 6-month injury? Something like that. Courtois is going to be out for most of the season. And as a result of that, Real Madrid have now come in for a goalkeeper, and it looks like they will be signing David De Gea. So really, really happy for him. You know I like David De Gea. You know I wasn't in the David De Gea out club. I'm happy that he left, but I wasn't one of those people on Twitter saying, get him out of my club, you know, and all the rest of it. So I wish David De Gea all the best. Happy days for him. He's just gone and got his move to Real Madrid. Yeah, really, really happy for him. But anyway, we're not a David De Gea channel. Let's move on to something else. Let's talk about the next topic of the show. Right. Now, this one is really, really interesting. There's a story coming out from Samuel Luckhurst, who reports for the Manchester Evening News. He is somebody really, really close to the club. He's not my favourite journalist. I think he's a little bit biased about some stuff, but he is somebody who gets information directly from Manchester United. He is the Manchester Evening News representative for Manchester United. So he's very, very close to the club. And he's reported this morning that Manchester United fans should expect a bonus signing as described by senior figures at the club. So everybody's been talking about this all transfer window. You've all been saying in the live chat, who's going to be our big signing of the summer? Who's going to be our Mikey signing? Because as good as Mason Mount, Onana and Rasmus Højlund are, I wouldn't really say any of them are like a marquee signing. I wouldn't. I would say they're all like good players, but they're not like, I can't think of a name off the top of my head, but they're not like a Casemiro or someone of that level. And I do think Manchester United will make a signing like that, because they always go for a shirt seller every single year. And it's very, very interesting that is what's being reported from Manchester Evening News this afternoon. Breaking news, guys. We've got some breaking news whilst we're live. Everybody take a deep breath. Everybody smash a like on the video. Fred to Fenerbahce is here we go. Fabrizio Romano, 14 seconds ago, has said the following. Fred to Fenerbahce, here we go. Deal in place with Manchester United. Proposal revealed earlier has been accepted and verbal agreement has been reached. Fred has now agreed personal terms with Fenerbahce and will travel for his medical test tomorrow. Come on, everybody. I hope you're all shouting at your screen and you're thinking, why the hell is this idiot shouting about Fred? The reason I'm shouting about Fred is because that means AMRABAT's coming. That means AMRABAT's coming. This is literally 30 seconds ago. Here we go. Fred to Fenerbahce. Done. Absolutely massive. So happy about that. That isn't anything against Fred. That is purely because that means AMRABAT is coming in. That's what we want, guys. So happy about that. Honestly, so happy about that. Let me just write something. Hold on one sec. Honestly, everybody, that's amazing. And literally, it's so good because it just means that AMRABAT will come now. I'm so happy. I am honestly so happy. I hope everyone sat at home is happy, because you've been so worried about this AMRABAT deal. Everyone has been so frustrated, so worried. And this is the domino. This is the piece of the puzzle that has now allowed this AMRABAT deal to happen. Buzzing. Absolutely buzzing about that. And it's so good when we get this whilst we're live as well. It's nice to share these moments as a community. Yeah. Really, really happy about that. Do let me know in the comment section if you're happy about this one. Obviously, the deal is 15 million euros. Obviously, he's worth more than that. I'm not celebrating. Just to be very, very clear, you're not getting this reaction from me because we're selling Fred for 15 million euros. You're getting this reaction because this sale allows AMRABAT to come. I admit we should have got more for Fred, but if we get AMRABAT, I don't really care at this point. I don't. It's not my money. As long as we get AMRABAT, which we now will, I'm happy. So just to be very, very clear, because I'm sure I'll get people in the chat saying, why are you celebrating? We're a joke. We should have sold him for more money and all the rest of it, which I understand we should have, but it is what it is. We're going to get AMRABAT, and that's all I really care about. You know, I've said this since day one of this channel. AMRABAT, for me, is the most important signing of us this summer. He's more important than Rasmus Højlund. He's more important than Mason Mount, 100%. Maybe he's arguably on par with Onana, but I honestly think what AMRABAT's going to be able to deliver to our midfield is going to completely change the way we play football. I really, really do believe that. Obviously, I hope Rasmus Højlund goes and does well, but he's a work in progress. He's someone who could either be world-class or might not be. Mason Mount, everyone was a little bit 50-50 about. I know everyone was excited about Onana, but yeah, I honestly think that that AMRABAT's going to be that signing which is going to, you know, away at the Emirates, away at the Etihad, you play a midfield free of AMRABAT, Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes. That is an absolutely brutal midfield to break down, you know? AMRABAT and Casemiro are two absolute thugs in that midfield. Let's be very, very clear. So I'm absolutely buzzing. Really, really happy about this. Obviously, people are going to say, oh, AMRABAT isn't in yet, but I don't want to repeat myself. But for all of the haters out there, Fabrizio said earlier on today, once Fred goes, AMRABAT is the priority, and that AMRABAT is waiting for Manchester United. So the domino has fallen. The piece of the puzzle has now been reached. Fred is gone, and AMRABAT, I would say we'll get the here we go from AMRABAT within the next week. I would put money on it. Again, I don't bet, but I would put money on it. I'm going to read out a couple of questions in the chat. Irvin says, Kieran, do you think Maguire will be a here we go this week? Yes, I do. I definitely think he will be, yeah. Somebody says, is AMRABAT our best signing so far? 100%, mate. 100%. I definitely think that AMRABAT is our best signing. Yeah, I definitely think he's our best signing. I really, really do. Let's move on to something else, though. Let's keep things rolling on the show this evening. Let's talk about the other midfielders at Manchester United. We have got an update on Scott McTominay for you. So there's a story coming out this afternoon, and you're going to like this. Honestly, the show today is so positive. I love it when we share these positive moments together. So do make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe if you're new, because I'm feeling happy tonight. I really, really am. So we've had a story come out in the last half an hour from a journalist in the UK who is very, very close to West Ham. And they are reporting that West Ham are still in deep negotiations to sign Scott McTominay. Music to my ears. Fred's gone, Maguire's gone, and West Ham are still in the race for Scott McTominay. They haven't pulled out. They're still really, really pushing for his signature. And it looks like David Moyes will get his player. Honestly, our midfield could be revolutionised by the end of this window, right? Scott McTominay goes, Fred goes, Donny van der Beek goes. You bring in AMRABAT. We probably then bring in another midfielder as well. I couldn't be happier. Honestly, today has been one of the best days of the transfer window so far for me. We've had so much positivity, and to get this Fred here we go whilst we're live is exactly what we want. It is exactly what we want. It really, really is. So yeah, it looks like Scott McTominay is still going to go to West Ham. That's what's being reported by this journalist, he only reports on West Ham news, so it's not just some it's not TalkSport or someone like that. It's a journalist who literally only does stories about West Ham, and the negotiations are reportedly still ongoing between Manchester United and West Ham, so they haven't pulled out of the race. And I do think a deal will be agreed here. Obviously, they had a bid of £30 million rejected. I think 40 million, 35 maybe plus add-ons will be enough to get this one over the line. And I think then happy days for everybody, you know. Happy days. 40 million in the bank for McTominay. If you'd have told me, look, let's just all take a deep breath a minute. Let's all just take a moment. I know this stream's been a bit excitable because a lot has happened, and you know I get quite excited, so that's just me as a person. I'm not going to change. You're getting me as a real person, right? If I'd have told you at the beginning of the transfer window that Maguire would go to West Ham, Scott McTominay probably is going to go to West Ham, Fred's going to go, Tellez is going to go, Bailly's going to go. If I'd have told you all of these players were going to go, you would have said, you need to wake up. You're talking absolute rubbish. But that's a reality. We're living in that reality right now. Erik ten Hag is working absolute miracles at this club. And I have nothing but respect of him. I really, really do. But anyway, let's move on to something else before I get too caught up in things. I'm just absolutely buzzing. I am. I just love it when we get positivity whilst we're live. It just makes my evening. It does. Right. Let's move on to Pavard really, really quickly. I know a lot of you in the chat are quite upset about this Benjamin Pavard thing. I'm not really too sure, to be honest, why. I think he's quite a good player, but obviously you're entitled to your opinion. So there's been a story coming out from L'Equipe in France saying that apparently Manchester United have made a 30 million euros bid for Bayern Munich's French international Benjamin Pavard. Now, just to be very, very clear, this hasn't been confirmed by Fabrizio. It hasn't been confirmed by The Athletic or any journalist that I actually fully trust. So at the moment, take that with a pinch of salt. But apparently a bid has gone in. I think maybe that's a little bit of a lie. Personally, I don't think a bid's gone in. But we have had a bit of clarity on why Eric Ten Hag wants to sign Benjamin Pavard. So here we go. This is a quote from another French journalist. He says, Benjamin Pavard remains high on the list as Eric Ten Hag enjoys using players who can operate either in the middle or on the flank of the back line. So as we know, his versatility is the reason why Eric Ten Hag is targeting him. I'm sure Todibo is a better, more younger, exciting profile player, but the options that Pavard gives you is exactly what Eric Ten Hag needs at this moment in time. And Fabrizio Romano has also been talking about Benjamin Pavard this afternoon, and he has said Benjamin Pavard would love to join Manchester United and try the Premier League experience. So he's really, really keen to come to Manchester United, which is obviously good. And also Plettigol in Germany, Florian Plettenberg? Yeah. Plettigol has also reported the following. Benjamin Pavard wants to join Manchester United and is refusing to speak to Bayern Munich about a new contract. He has made it clear to them that he wants to leave this summer. So for anybody who's been living under a rock, he only has 1 year left on his deal. He will be available for 25 to 30 million euros, which is about 20 to 30 million pounds. I still think we should get this one done. I do. I think we need to get him and Todibo. I think we need both of them. If McTominay goes, if Fred goes, Donny goes, Maguire goes, like we will have the money to get those two players, I think. So yeah, for me, it's both of them. It's not one or the other. We've got a bit of clarity actually on the Fred deal. So as I said, the show is a little bit scatty because we're getting breaking news coming in every single minute. So 15 million euros is the total fee, okay? But it's 10 million euros up front plus 5 million euros in add-ons. So it's not 15 million's total package. It's 10 up front plus 5 in add-ons. I mean, when you say that, it makes it sound even worse, doesn't it? I mean, what's that? Let me just work that out for you really, really quick. So it's not 15 million euros up front. It's about 8 million euros up front plus about 4 million euros in add-ons. I'm not sure what to think about that. Obviously, that's a bit disappointing. I would have hoped to get a little bit more money for Fred than that, but it is what it is. That's what Fabrizio Romano has just reported in the last 30 seconds. So that's literally breaking news, come out in the last minute. 10 million euros up front plus 5 million euros in add-ons. So the deal is done. He will go and do his medical. I think Fabrizio has just said it will be either tomorrow or over the weekend, and we can expect an announcement from the club. I would say by the end of the weekend, we'll get the announcement that Fred's gone. I know everyone's going to be upset about this. I know 10 million euros is not good enough. It's about 8 million pounds. But I don't know. There's not really much we can say, is there? Let's just try and be happy, all right? Let's try and be positive. We're going to get Amrabat. Well, touch wood. If we don't get Amrabat now, I'm going to look like an absolute idiot, aren't I? But I think we will get Amrabat. I think this will now allow us to go and sign Sofian Amrabat, because that is what's been said over and over again. Right, let's crack on with some other bits of news though. Just so anybody who's watching back on playback who hasn't been watching the show live, just to give you a bit of clarity, this show is done completely live. So obviously there is some level of, there is planning, but when breaking news comes in, I do kind of dip out of what I'm talking about because, you know, it is a live show and I want to give you live reactions and I want to give you the news as quickly as possible. So anybody watching back on repeat thinking, why is he talking about Fred again? I was only talking about him again because there's been a new story coming out. Okay, so anyway, let's move on to something else. Let's talk about a different player. Obviously, we have spoke about Matis Kovar. We did a video on him separately earlier, but I will bring it into the chat really, really quickly. So Manchester United have officially also sold Matis Kovar to Bayern Leverkusen. The deal is reportedly worth somewhere around 9 million euros. Fabrizio Romano has reported, though, that apparently we have a buyback clause in the contract for Matis Kovar. Apparently, he's already going to go and do his medical now. So it looks like it's a done deal for for Matić Kovar. He has gone. I know quite a lot of you were really, really excited about this player. I know quite a lot of you are disappointed that he hasn't had a chance to break into the first team, but it does look like we will now go and sign another goalkeeper. Apparently the goalkeeper from Fenerbahce is the most likely option. I'm not that excited about this person. I don't watch Turkish football. I've never seen this person play, so I can't really judge him, but I would like maybe a slightly higher profile goalkeeper. We just see David Raya go to Arsenal as the backup goalkeeper. Like, we should be getting somebody better than the goalkeeper from Fenerbahce, I think. But maybe I'm just being a bit black and white, you know. But I've never heard of him, so I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and be like shouting and screaming because we're going to potentially sign the goalkeeper from Fenerbahce. Like, I'm just simply not going to do that. We've got over 1,200 people watching today, which is absolutely mega. Big ups to everybody who is watching today. Please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. It doesn't cost any money. It's completely free, so do get involved. And if you want to join the members club, which some of you may not, some of you may want to, I've just put a link in the chat to do it. So yeah, do get involved in the channel. And let's crack on with the rest of the show. So we've got a bit of an update on the striker situation as well. So there's a French journalist who's come out this afternoon saying that apparently further sales such as Donny van de Beek, Scott McTominay and Anthony Martial could go towards signing another striker. I mean, if we work out how much money we've made today, so we've got 15 million euros for Fred, 9 million for Matić Kovar, that's 24. And I mean, let's just think about this black and white. The money we've made today goes and buys you AMRABAT. 9 million from Matić Kovar, 15 million euros from Fred. That's enough money to go and buy AMRABAT. I think we need to sell Scott McTominay in order to then go and buy a striker. I don't think the money we've got today is enough to buy a striker. Whereas if you get 40 million for McTominay, that then allows us to go and buy another striker. So I do think Manchester United will target a striker in the last kind of weeks of the window. Welcome to Youssef, who's just joined the Daily Red Devils members club. Thank you so much for the support, my friend. I really, really do appreciate it. If you do want to join the members club, just click the $ or click join, and yeah, you get a badge next to your name. You get some exclusive content. It's like £2 a month, $2.99 a month, I think. So yeah, do get involved if you can, and welcome Youssef to the Daily Red Devils members club. Just to say as well, everybody, I will be reading out some of your questions in the last kind of 10 or 15 minutes of the show. So do get your questions in the chat, and I will read some out when we get to that point of the show. If you could put the letter Q in front of your message, that would really, really help me find your questions quicker. So do that if you haven't already, and I will do that. So somebody in the chat is asking about Eric Bailly. We can talk about this one really, really quickly for you if you want. I don't want to dampen the mood, but it looks like Eric Bailly will be leaving the club as a free transfer. This was reported yesterday. It looks like he will be going to Turkey. I think it was, let me just double check this for you because I don't want to give you false information. Give me 1 second, everybody. So Eric Bailly is set to join Besiktas on a free transfer. So we're not going to get any money for Eric Bailly, it doesn't look like. I'm not sure what to think about that one. Obviously, he's never going to really get any game time for Manchester United. He's 30 years of age. I think he's injury prone at this point, we have to admit. He's on, I think, £120,000 a week. I think we just have to cut our losses with him. He's got 1 year left on his deal. Either we get rid of him now or we pay him probably £5 or £6 million to just sit on the bench or be injured. So I know it's disappointing. There isn't any money involved in this, but I would take it at this point. I would. There is a slight chance that a Saudi Arabian club might enter the race again, but as it stands, it looks like he is going to join Besiktas, and it looks like it will be for no money. Bit frustrating, but it is what it is, isn't it? I'm just seeing if there's any other news coming out in the last couple of minutes just to bring to you whilst we're live. No, it looks like that is the main focus. Now, obviously, the priority now is to get rid of Dean Henderson. Dean Henderson has to leave the club now. It looks like he will be joining Nottingham Forest, but just to give everyone a bit of clarity on this deal, it looks like it's going to be a loan with an obligation to buy. Bit frustrating, but it is what it is. Yeah, so Samuel Luckhurst in the Manchester Evening News has reported this morning that Manchester United now want to sign a second goalkeeper as the club attempt to offload both Dean Henderson and Matić Kovar. So Matić Kovar's obviously gone today, as we reported. Dean Henderson's going to be the next one. And then Manchester United will go in for a new goalkeeper. I want you guys to get in the comment section, actually, and let me know who you think the new goalkeeper should be. I don't really have any input on this one. I don't. I want you guys to let me know, though, because I want to educate myself. You know, this isn't a dictatorship. This is a community where we all share football knowledge. So do let me know in the comment section who you think the new goalkeeper should be. Obviously, we will now go and sign one, as both of those players have now left the club. Sarandeep says, do you think we would go for Kudus as he can play as a striker? So let's talk about Mohamed Kudus really, really quickly. He is somebody, as you know, that I really, really want Manchester United to sign. He hasn't yet agreed personal terms with Brighton. We're still waiting to find out what's going to go on with that one. Yeah, so apparently, so we've got a bit of breaking news actually on Mohamed Kudus. This is coming out in the last couple of minutes. It says that the 48-hour deadline that Mohamed Kudus had to make a decision regarding personal terms with Brighton has now expired. This doesn't mean that he will stay, but Ajax are now back in control and will no longer cooperate easily. With each day passing by, his price tag will increase. So ultimately, Brighton agreed a 40 million euros deal with Ajax for Mohamed Kudus, but now he hasn't been able to agree personal terms with them. I'm going to be honest here. Is going from Ajax to Brighton a step up? I don't think so. I think it's a step down. I really, really do. Let's be honest. Ajax are a far bigger club than Brighton. Massive, massive club. Ajax are one of the biggest clubs in Europe. Brighton, I know they're a trendy name. They're a hipster name at the moment. But if I'm a footballer playing for Ajax, I'm not going to move to Brighton. I would move to Manchester United. I'd move to Liverpool, Chelsea, Manchester City, someone like that. So I still think we can go in and get this deal done. I do. We have been linked to him a little bit earlier on in the window, but at the moment it has gone very, very quiet with him. Obviously, we know that Erik ten Hag is a big fan of this player. We know that obviously they were together at Ajax. So I think it is a deal that could potentially happen. It's just one that will maybe happen later on in the window. And it might be one that happens when McTominay goes, because we will need to raise funds in order to do more business. Let's have a look. Andrew says, what if we got Mohamed Kudus, Amrabat and Pavard? I would be absolutely buzzing with that. If we get those three players, I would be so, so happy. I still don't think it'll be enough for us to win the title. I don't. I think we'll be up there. I think we'll be in first or second, maybe second. I don't think we'll win though. But yeah, that would be a really, really solid window if we go and get those three people. And I think that's actually realistic. I mean, Benjamin Pavard's going to cost you 25 million. Amrabat's going to cost you 25 million. And Mohamed Kudus will probably cost you 40. That's about, what's that, 90 million pounds? I think we can do that. Groove says, do you think these sales are gearing up for a cash plus Martial deal for Kane? I don't think so. I don't think we'll get Kane this summer. I really, really don't. I think it'll be next year. We'll get him for free. I think it's written in the stars. I can't imagine us getting Harry Kane now. I think it'll be very, very unlikely. Sarandeep says, how much more could we make on sale according to you? So obviously if we sell McTominay, that's another 45 million. We're going to get 30 million for Maguire. That's 75. 15 million for Fred. That's 90. 9 for Kovar. I mean, we've got about 100 million worth of players there. Easy. From just those people. That's not including people like Brandon Williams, Eric Bailly, people like that. So I think our budget now does just go up to around 100 million if we get rid of the people that are most likely to leave the club. You spend 25 on Amrabat, you spend 25 on probably Todibo or Benjamin Pavard, and then you've got 40 to 50 million left to get a striker. And that's why I think Mohamed Kudus would be the perfect option in that position. But let me know in the comment section, who do you think Manchester United should go for as the backup striker? Would you go for Kudus? Would you go for Marcus Leonardo? Let me know what you think. I'm going for Kudus, as you know. Where are we? Jimmy says, do you think we will sign a striker that's fit? I mean, obviously that's a dig at Rasmus Højlund, isn't it? Which is, hopefully it's tongue-in-cheek, because Rasmus Højlund's only going to be out for 3 games, guys. It's not the end of the world. But yeah, I would 100% go and sign another striker. You know this. I've been saying this for months. We need 2 strikers. We really, really do. Somebody says, where is Sergio Romero? Now, that is a name I have not heard in a very long time. Let me just check for you. Sergio Romero. I mean, Sergio Romero is 36 now. He is playing at Boca Juniors in the Argentinian league. He joined there a year ago. He's got 1 year left on his contract. I don't think Sergio Romero would come back to Manchester United. I would probably just rather keep Tom Heaton than use him. Answer says, who would you rather have, Benjamin Pavard or Todibo? Now, this one, I haven't got a straight answer for. I think Todibo is the player we need for the future. He's someone who I can see replacing Raphael Varane as the right-sided centre-back. But at the moment, I think we need both of them. I think we need Benjamin Pavard and Todibo. If I could only have one or the other, I probably would go with Todibo, because I do think he has a higher ceiling. He's younger. He would definitely fit into Erik ten Hag's team a lot better than Benjamin Pavard. But I would, of course, back whatever Erik ten Hag does. Joe says, Kieran, who's your preferred first choice right winger? I love Anthony, but his gameplay is easily predictable. He runs up, cuts into left, and either a curl or a shot, or else he'll pass back. I don't know. For me, what's essential this season is that Rasmus Højlund, Garnacho, and Rashford play. I want those three to play. Those are my starting three in the attacking positions. I don't know who's going to play where, but I would go with them. Somebody says, is there any realistic strikers according to you? So, I don't know. I think the striker will be the surprise signing this window. I think it'll be a striker we'll get taken by surprise. Yeah, I think we'll get taken by surprise and we'll make a signing for a striker and everyone will be in absolute shock and it'll be really, really amazing. But I don't know at this point. Somebody says, do you think there is anything in this gift Orban? I don't know about this person. I've never really watched him. 21 years of age, plays for Ghent in the Belgian league. I've had so many people message me saying we need to go after this guy. He's absolutely quality. Gift Orban, his name is. I don't watch Belgian league football, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know stuff about this player because I don't. All I can see is that he got 9 goals last season in the Belgian league. He got 5 goals in the Conference League. He got 20 goals in 22 matches last season. So obviously that's very, very good, but it is the Belgian league. Or, you know, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but the Belgian league is clearly not the same as the Premier League. So yeah, I'm not really too sure about this guy. If we get him, of course I'll back him, but at the moment, yeah, I don't know. Right, I'm going to wrap the video up here, guys. It's been an absolutely incredible stream. We've had so much to talk about. It's been an absolutely amazing one. Thank you so much for watching today. Thank you to all the new subscribers and thank you to all the regulars. Please do smash a like on the video on your way out. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new and get involved in the comments section. Let me know how you feel about the Fred deal, the Matic Pavard deal, and let's just spread some positivity. It's been a good day to be a Manchester United fan today, and AMRABAT soon. Watch this space. I think AMRABAT will be the next one we're talking about. Big ups to everybody. Have a lovely evening, day, or morning, wherever you are in the world, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Lots of love and peace out.